guys, if you missed today's lesson, you missed a lesson on functionalism. Now, the nice thing about the functionist topic is if you don't like any of the 3 paragraphs I'm going to teach you this lesson, and you think I can't remember them or don't really understand them, you are allowed to swap one paragraph out with a paragraph you've already done about functionalism. So, for example, if you don't like one theory, you could replace it with Murdoch's 4 functions of the family and use that as one of your paragraphs. That's absolutely fine. So this lesson, we're going to do 3 paragraphs on functionalism. Okay, paragraph 1 is social control. So this is essentially any ways that the family any ways that society controls us into value consensus. In case you've forgotten, on the next slide, I've written about what a value consensus is. So if you would like to write that down as a definition, because you'll need that. And I've given some examples of a value consensus. This includes being self-sufficient. That's important we all agree on that, or too many of us would depend on the welfare state. Respecting the law, because if not many of us applied by that, we'd all be criminals. And the importance of work, working hard. You don't have to watch it, but I showed this clip in class. If you click on the picture of the girl, you will see that these values are socialised. So we've got this girl. If you watch, I would recommend just watch the first few minutes because the clip it gets really dark. So just watch the first few minutes, and you will see that this girl, she hasn't been socialised very well at an early stage, and she doesn't value other life. She doesn't value doing what she's told. So she's not part of the value consensus. What this demonstrates is the value consensus isn't biological, we're not born with it, it's something we're socialised to accept. Now, we're socialised to accept this in 2 ways. We've got to think we're like a body with ranges of agencies of socialisation, socialising us into accepting the value consensus. Now, on one side, we're socialised, so we're taught norms and values to fit into the value consensus. So this is any ways that we're taught norms and values, and we have done this before. You might want to link in a bit of cross-curricular knowledge. So in class we looked at how the education system teaches social solidarity and teaches norms and values to function within society. At the same time, we have an element of social control which punishes us if we don't fit the norms and values of society. So if we break the law, we get punished by the police. So these 2 things together affect our behaviour and conditions us to accept the value consensus in society. Okay, now if you're aiming for an A, an A star, then you might want to link this to the overall idea of what this means about free will. Now, obviously, this means we haven't got very much free will, because it's saying anything good we do isn't because we have chosen to do these good things. It's because we've been socialised by wider society to behave this way. So we don't have any free will. So you might want to add that as a sentence if you're aiming for an A or an A star. Okay. So, evaluation then. Agencies of socialisation do not impact all groups equally. And to give an example of a group that has not been socialised into value consensus. So what you might want to think of a general example, like hippies in the 70s, who wanted to take drugs and stepped away from society, or you've got individuals who break the law, whatever example you want to put at, just to finish off that example. Okay, paragraph 2 is the system's needs. So this is any ways that society fills the needs as a whole. So on the next slide, you've got 4 ways in which this does this. First of all, adaptation is any ways we meet the system's economic needs. And if you want to fill in the tables, I explain that. The way we do this is 2 ways. One, economy, which provides us all with jobs, and those who don't have jobs, we've got a welfare system to protect those needs. Secondly, we've got goal attainment. This ensures that all individuals have the opportunity to reach cultural goals, and the way we do this is we've got an education system where everyone's got a right to a free education. Then we've got integration. These are the ways that different agencies of socialisation must be linked together. So this could be the media, which links all of them together. It keeps us informed on how they're all working and allows them to connect with each other. And then latency is the process to maintain society over time, and that's performed by the family. So the family keeps society running over a long period of time. For example, it keeps workers happy and content and fed, and at the same time it reproduces the next workforce to ensure that the economy will work in the future. Now, a little task for you to do. If you're not sure about any of this, drop me an email. There's 4 things that happened during the lockdown or just after. For each one, I'd like you to demonstrate how that shows the importance of one of the 4 essential functions of society. So if you give yourself a minute to do that. Sorry about this. Okay, right. If you're aiming for an A star, you want to put this into context of the conflict versus consensus debate. So you remember, conflict sees society is based on the conflict between 2 groups, and consensus sees society is running smoothly and everyone getting along. So if you're aiming for an A star, say whether this fits in with the consensus or the conflict view and why. If you're aiming for an A star and you're not sure, drop me an email and I'll give you a hand with that. Okay, so this has said one of the essential functions is ensuring that everyone is able to meet cultural goals. Now, we can use this as an evaluation because it shows that's not in fact true. In fact, we've got a very unequal education system. On the left, we've got Harrow, the most exclusive private school in the country, and on the right, we've got on the right, we've got On the right, we've got unequal schooling systems within the UK, which demonstrates that it's not equal for everyone. So you can use that as an evaluation. Okay, our third paragraph, Sorry about that. Our third paragraph is social change. And this is how functions look at how society's changed over time. Okay, they identified that there's 2 types of society. Traditional society is pre-industrial society, and we looked at this when we did functions before with the traditional society with the extended family, and modern societies after the industrialisation period. What I'd like you to do on your next slide, you have got a table. You've got a table with I think it's 12 points on for each one of you. Colour code them whether you think they're traditional or modern. Check with me or check with a mate in the class to see if you've got those right, and use that to write a definition of traditional and modern society. Okay, once you've done that, to take this a little bit further, we can see that traditional and modern society developed much like evolution. So if we look at very early stages of evolution, we had single cell organisms. So it was one simplistic cell that performed all the functions. This is very similar to the family, the extended family in pre-industrial society. It was a very simple agency of socialisation. They stuck together and there were no alternative agencies of socialisation. The family performed all roles. Now, what we can tell is with evolution, eventually we evolved into something more complex. So different parts of the body developed to perform different specialist roles. So for example, the family performed one role, the education system another. They're all connected, but they all perform specialist roles. Simon, sorry, I'm doing a video. Can you turn that down? I'm doing a video and you can hear that, sorry. Right, and then you can see this with the family as well, where you've got the development from simplistic organism to multiple different agencies of socialisation, which all perform specialist roles but all are connected. So it's very much like the development of evolution, and it's gradual and there's no conflict, and it goes on to improve things. Okay, there's some questions there just to answer. Now, the only one that you're not going to know on those, question number 3, loss of function, is that the family performed all the roles of socialisation, but eventually it lost some of those roles to different agencies of socialisation. So that's what we meant by loss of function. The family's still important, but many of the aspects of the family that used to perform are performed by others. And what is meant by an equilibrium? This is the idea that the development of society is a slow running process that gets better and better with time. Now, in terms of evaluation, we could say that not all aspects of society are linked. So, for example, with the family, we know circularisation has occurred, and we think with that it would have a knock-on effect on all other aspects of society. However, the fact of the matter is secularisation has occurred, it's not had an impact on the economy and it's not had an impact on the media, so it doesn't always have a knock-on effect because society is far too complex. Okay, that's all. If you've got any problems, email me. Cheers.